Hello. All right, peeps. AMD earnings. Let's get it. What's up? Let's get it. What's up? Should I grab a put? Do I grab another put? Do I? Do I? It's a big reset. Hell yeah, dude. I'm gonna stream here on YouTube from now on. I said I was gonna get on today, but there was nothing going on. I didn't want to stream today. It was fucking so slow. The one play I thought would be good today was I saw this triangle and AMD broke out on this candle, so I almost shorted it, but then it immediately went straight back up. So that is why I didn't touch shit today. I'm not sure if I should buy a. So I got a week out call, 2 week out calls. I could buy a really out of the money put to hedge that just in case, but I don't know. AMD always has really good earnings. I don't think there's any. Well, no, there is a way. Tech earnings has been, if they are phenomenal, you go sideways or might go up 2%. If they're good, you go down 10%. If they're bad, you go down 25%. So I'm not too sure. But I mean, obviously last earnings, they fucking gapped up huge. Earnings before that, they gapped. They didn't really do anything in that earnings. That was back in the heyday. That earnings did cause it to climb all the way to 160. Okay. Oh, there's no chance it's opening at 120. Percent chance. But hey, this could be the first time it ever goes down after earnings. Would be when well, actually, it went down after earnings over here. But you can't even fucking compare anything from back here to what's happening right now. All I know is that last earnings were great and it went straight up for a little. I don't know. Their CEO is a baller though. She never disappoints. Hey, we're already green on this. Alright, we bought two more. We got $800 in AMD calls. I got sick I go out in public doing the markets for 2 days, and now I come out when I'm fucking sick. Great. Hey, VIX is under 30. Very good. Very good. I like that. Damn, VIX is it topped up here at 36. Holy shit. VIX always does this though. It always spikes and then nosedives. So this, it's setting up so perfectly for the Fed meeting to be the spike, and then Fed meeting, we know the hike, and then we tank. At least VIX tanks. Market goes up. Also, Expedia had fantastic earnings today. They had 100% revenue growth year over year, and what do? They go straight down. Classic. Nothing matters. God, look at this fucking price action. I mean, the Qs have at least been holding up this level, 317.45, like I talked about. It tested it, tested it, tested it, tested it. Just fuck, man. Bounce off of it, god damn it. And then Coinbase. Oh, what did Coinbase do? I literally called what it would do today. I said yesterday, we gotta go up and retest 129, wherever the high of this is. Yeah, 129. That's exactly what we did at open. We spiked up and bounced off of that. Still $2,000 in the hole on that, but no big deal. The shitty part is we won't be able to see what our options do until tomorrow morning, so I think buying a week out is smart. I mean, buying like this week's, if they go up 20%, if AMD goes up 20%, those will go up a lot more, but I don't know. No hedge, baby. Zero hedge here. We go fucking raw. No condoms, no protection. Alright, let's go over to Webull. I like their interface better. See what Bitcoin's doing? That's tapping support right now. It's right at support. Look at that line right there. Alright, I gotta get fast. Fuck, I wish I had my mom's CNBC info. Shit, maybe I do. I'd like to get that up on the screen. That'd be dope. Fuck. Yeah, CNBC. Come on, Xfinity, let me fucking log in. Please work. Please work. Yes, it worked. Jim Cramer. I hope. Oh God, I should have. Should have looked and saw what Jim Cramer said about AMD. He's pretty. He's wrong a lot of the time. So.
I'm talking about the transitory nature last year of taking the victory lap, and it probably won't stop the Fed from taking the victory lap. And I think that could put some tailwind into the market mid-month.
Just
you
to
hear more people talking about peak inflation and what that could mean, including Brad Gerstner of Altimeter, who was on with me on the halftime report today. I want you to listen to what Brad said about that issue, and we can discuss on the other side.
I think inflation is already rolled over. I think there's already a tremendous amount of demand destruction occurring in the world. The Fed and what the Fed does.
Inflation's rolled over, man. It's gone already.
6 months will
The Fed raised rates 0.25%. Inflation is done, dude.
Will be up from here because so much has come out of the market from a growth multiple perspective.
All right, so that's Brad Gerstner
Damn.
today. Greg, he also said, by the way, risk is, quote, more asymmetric to the upside.
Oh, Caesars had bad earnings.
To buy Howard Marks on with Sarah within the last hour. I do
Oh,
think that the worst of the
MicroStrategy,
excesses have been
rippery.
corrected.
Oh,
The
it's not
groups that
doing
did the best in
anything now.
20 and 21 have been hit the hardest. What do you make?
I mean, it's what? Where does it
Yeah, I
even
think
get
that's
its revenue
partially
from?
true.
What was its market
I
cap?
do
Only
think
4 billion.
that, like I
So
said,
they missed on
I'm
revenue.
noted. I'm close to
119 million
in
as
terms
opposed
of
to
growth this year.
127 was
I'm
their
at mid-single
estimate.
digits, and I do think that extra 50 for
Loss
growth
per
has to
share of
come in. But I'm not going
11.58.
to make an argument on multiples. I think
So
we
they,
largely agree there.
yeah, that's pretty
That
rough for
we're not gonna get a
MicroStrategy,
lot
but
of
it's
multiple
literally just
expansion
Bitcoin.
here,
No one gives a
but
shit.
we can
So
get performance in the back half with companies that
see what
are gonna
AMD's
grow their
doing,
earnings.
baby.
Yeah. What about the idea of the tremendous
God
amount
damn
of
it.
uncertainty that is in the market? There are a lot of big names. Marks and Gerstner are just two among them out in Los Angeles who are talking about this very issue. Ken Griffin calls it the most uncertainty he's seen in the market since the global financial crisis. You heard Paul Tudor Jones, I hope, this morning on our network, who was talking about the scenario being very, very difficult for Jay Powell. How does that factor into your overall view, and is that principally why you can't be more positive on a longer-term perspective?
You know, I'm going to put some fingers here, I guess, Scott. You know, some of this is Jerome Powell's doing. And so, you know, there are many of us who encouraged him to come out of Jackson Hole last year and announce a plan to raise rates and tighten the balance sheet and taper. But they decided to pass on that, and I think it would have been an opportune time in the midst of what was a very strong third quarter earnings season to do that. And because he finds himself behind the curve, he has very little options. At this point, I think that it's pretty much dictated in stone what he has to do throughout the course of this year, whether we see the economy over-responding.
All right, AMD's getting a little green. Oh, what was that? What was that? If you look away, you miss it. These algo candles after hours are nuts.
And so I would agree with all those luminaries.
Yeah. I mean, you got a tale of two markets almost. I remember going back to, you know, the very early days of our program here in Overtime, and maybe it was on the very first day or so when Scott Minerd was talking about this runway lasting, you know, it's like a 2-year runway. The market
How the
can
fuck
do
do I even
very
get into
well
the earnings call?
for maybe a year, maybe a little less now.
At the opening
until
bell,
it
live
really
on
has
stream.
to come to grips with
So
what the
hey,
Fed
we're
is
just
going to do,
resourcing.
and multiple interest rate increases that are maybe going to change the game down the road. It's also one of the reasons why I think you got people like Eric Johnston from Cantor Fitzgerald, who sat with me right here on set yesterday and said this about the stock market.
And the data that we've run suggests that over the next 3 to 4 weeks, we are going to see a fairly sharp rally.
Whoa, tech is rallying after hours here.
Right. But that doesn't mean that stocks can't
Sorta.
rally in the interim. Once you get this Fed meeting
Nvidia's
out of the way.
moving.
What do you think?
I don't disagree. Like I said, I think that the inflation number, the CPI number, lapping a 4.2%,
Damn, Coinbase only ended up
coming in
2%.
somewhere around
Brutal.
that 6% territory will give everyone a sigh of relief. Will give a market that has been looking for some good news.
Come on,
Even though
AMD.
again, it doesn't mean that we're in a more benign environment, but I think that could be the spark that would.
You always have good earnings. You always do.
But I also agree with some of those luminaries that there are risks that we haven't even talked about, Scott. You know, we're going to have some really serious distressed debt issues. We haven't talked about that. I don't know if we've fully digested what shutdowns in China are going to mean for the supply chains this year. So there's some other risk factors.
Forgive me.
Time do these fucking come out?
I apologize. I've got earnings out. Airbnb and Lyft. D Bosa with both. D.
Hey Scott, both
Not until fucking 2?
in the after hours. Let me run through
shit.
results first. It's a beat on every metric that I am seeing. Revenue is better than the street expected. A loss of 3 cents per share versus a loss of 29 cents a share that was expected. By the way, the street is expecting a net profit from Airbnb for the year. So that goes beyond that.
Airbnb, wow, they had a good quarter.
Despite expectations for strong demand to continue,
of course, that'll be the one that goes up. That'll be the one I should have bought calls for.
The average daily rate, the ADR in Q2, to be flat on a year-over-year basis. It was only up 5% in the last quarter, so that is a major deceleration from the last year. But do keep in mind, it rose a lot over 2021, partly the effects of inflation as well as the mix of bookings they were seeing. Also, just want to mention, bookings topped $100 million for the first time, so that exceeds
AR had really good earnings today.
Moving on to Lyft, shares are up by 3.5% in the afternoon, beating on the top and bottom line here. An unexpected profit, adjusted EPS of 7 cents versus a loss of 7 cents per share expected. Ride volumes are at a COVID high, seeing strong demand here. Active riders, however, slightly below the street's estimate. If you recall last quarter, that sort of sunk the shares in the wake of those results. Guidance will be important, but we do not get that until the analyst call, which kicks off shortly, Scott. So I'll bring you more news as I see it. And as you can see, Lyft already pairing some of those gains, perhaps on that active rider number.
Yeah, appreciate that. All right, Dee, thank you so much. I mean, Lyft shares have been cut in half this year. So it's been one of those areas, Greg Branch. I get back to you, and please forgive me again for having to interrupt you, but that's the way we go in overtime when things are happening fast and furious like that. Give me your read here. We could take Airbnb. You know, you almost take them together. And I look at this. The stocks that have been punished the most are those high valuation growth stocks.
Oh yeah, 4 p.m. Central Time.
So Airbnb reports
damn, AMD, they make us wait. Shit, what am I gonna do now?
Lyft reports a surprise profit, so maybe no wonder.
All right, guess I'll just yammer on.
I'm still trying to figure out which direction Lyft is going to go.
Going up for a quarter video.
Yeah,
All right, so let's look at the NASDAQ. Hello? What the fuck? Is that the cat? Squash! Fucking neighbors making noise below me. Alright, so what I talked about yesterday still applies. Fed meetings, all anyone cares about is the ultimate, the God catalyst, all things stocks. J-Pal controls everything, so going into tomorrow, I just need to see this level held on the NASDAQ. That's got to be held. So it's interesting, the NASDAQ hardly moved at all, but the VIX fucking tanked today. So I'm curious as to why that is. SPY hardly moved at all, so it's a good thing that we're seeing VIX coming down, but it's odd that the indices aren't going up. So, I mean, it's interesting. I don't know. It feels like it's just like a lure for bulls to jump in, but we do have VIX under 30. It's just weird that NASDAQ is still not fucking moving. So now the upside, obviously, like I always say, we clearly have resistance at 321 right now. That is also a past area of support over here, so gotta watch out for that level. Very key level. Wow, that was a money level right there. So I'm gonna do a little alert right there, which I think we might be heading towards it now after hours. Uh-oh. What did AMD do? Oh, it went up. It's going up. Hey, it went up big. Gonna hold up? I thought the earnings call didn't start till, Yeah! Fuck yeah, dude. Woo! AMD destroy their earnings. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Alright, and they increased guidance. Holy shit. Adjusted gross margin about 54%. That beats estimates of 53%. Q2 or second quarter revenue guidance 6.3 billion to 6.7 billion, and they earlier last quarter estimated it to be 6 billion. So they're upping their guidance. That's huge. Their revenue was at 5.9 billion. Estimate was 5.3. Holy mother meatballs! Fuck yes. Hot damn, that is awesome. Let's fucking go, baby. But this is all it's doing after hours, so. Oh god, I hope it's got to go up more. At least, well, we did buy 2 weeks out, so I think we should still be good. But I just know the IV on that shit is, yeah, it was at 88%. So, and we're a little bit out of the money, a little bit for now. Shit, man, it's gonna be interesting tomorrow. Fuck, it's gonna be interesting to see what these calls end up being worth. But hey, we know they destroyed earnings. Fuck yeah. And they raised guidance too. That's huge, dude. Let's go. Oh my god, that's awesome. That's what I was worried about. I was convinced they would beat. They always beat. But fuck, I was worried their guidance was just gonna be terrible. But the fact that they beat and they raised their guidance, fuck yeah. Hell yeah, baby. Oh, that's so sick. Alright, don't say anything else negative. This has to hold up, dude.
And more of the defensive sectors, particularly healthcare, which is I think quite attractively valued, really looks I think quite good right now. I also think
why can't I see the EPS? Where the fuck is the EPS?
Large cap tech, not the tech that is not profitable, but large cap tech that has good free cash flow generation, high cash sitting on their balance sheet, also can perform well as a defensive in this market environment, and the valuation.
Damn,
really
dude.
attractive.
AMD full year revenue estimate. They raised their guidance estimate to be 26.3 billion, dude. That's fucking awesome. And earlier it was at 24, so they upped their guidance 10% on revenue. That is sick, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, and I think, for my philosophy, what she was saying about tech kind of typifies exactly how I look at companies. Even in the large cap tech space, there's a difference.
Wow, it broke everything.
And a Google that's going to grow.
Besides its free cash flow. So it is a little low on cash. It was supposed to have free cash flow of over $1 billion, but it looks like it is just below $1 billion.
And as we've discussed, we can get some of that in companies with
Graphics, computer and graphics revenue up 10%. Enterprise, embedded, semi-custom revenue up 13% year over year. Holy shit, dude, that's huge. Come on, this should be going up more. Only 4%. That doesn't even get my Willy half chubbed. I'm not even half bricked yet. What the fuck? But it ain't going up.
Instant reaction to the Fed decision, his look ahead for what lies ahead. That's tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern, right here in Overtime.
Come on, dude, this is crazy earnings. How does Facebook fucking rip up off of missing its earnings and having bad guidance? But AMD, great earnings, great guidance, everything's great, demand is high as fuck. Now watch, they're gonna be like, oh, but there are worries about inflation and COVID, especially in China. Oh, everyone sell.
No different. The company posting revenue that grew 71% year over year. Adjusted earnings per share came in at $1.13 on revenues of $5.98 billion for the first quarter. Keep in mind, though, AMD closed its acquisition of Xilinx in February, so it's actually the first quarter to reflect Xilinx numbers. The CEO stating, quote, each of our businesses grew by a significant double-digit percentage year-over-year growth, led specifically by server processor revenue. And I'd like to point out, too, guidance for revenue came in at $6.5 billion, which is above estimates. And lastly, Lisa Su, you can see the stock price up 4.5% right now. Lisa Su, the CEO, will be on CNBC tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Lisa Su, she is a fucking
Scott,
legend.
there you have it. I'll dig
God
into some more about
CEO.
the PC sales and all that because that was a big concern. Thanks.
Yeah, just quickly though, you were
Fuck,
looking
man.
for
This shit's gotta hold up. If this doesn't hold up tomorrow, I'm gonna be so mad, dude. Oh my god, I'm gonna be so mad. The one time I do some aggressive earnings, it's gonna be the time that they actually destroy their fucking earnings and then it doesn't go up. Nvidia's up 1.5%. God. 4%, dude, that's it? Come on. What the fuck? This thing is so oversold, man. What the fuck? Look at this sell-off. It's so oversold. It's not even gonna get up to 100. We're not even gonna get to 100, and it's already losing some of those gains already. Fuck off. Well, it could be a delayed reaction, you know. I mean, Facebook did this too. Had good earnings, and then hey, we're still going up a little bit. Had good earnings and started selling off huge the next day, and then it ripped for the rest of the day. So I'm glad I bought the 1 week out calls. I probably should have done 3 weeks out. I bought that time. You pay for the time, so I got time to wait, and we're not gonna get IV crushed too bad. I hope. But if those are up, I mean, what were those up today? I can just take a look, actually. So yeah, these were only up like 14%. These calls today.
I was going to ask you if Mr. Schultz was going to be on the call.
Even the 0-day calls are hardly up fucking anything.
Interim CEO and back on the call. All right, we'll look forward to that. Kate Rogers, thank you so much. We are just getting
So these only went up like 14% today, when AMD itself went up 1.4%. So we go up like 4%, and that's up like 40%. So I mean, that's like $400, I guess. But IV is gonna crush a little bit of that premium. Theta is pretty low on these, so we're gonna lose about $80 just on Theta overnight. I don't know if it holds up these small gains, we should be all right. God, I hope. Should have just done fucking commons, but I knew if I did commons and it drops down 20%, then I'm just like, oh, I'm a fucking bag holder. I'd rather just get the pain done with and fucking forget about it. But I don't know. How is this all this is doing? Are you shitting me, AMD? Fucking kidding me? A joke?
Such a travesty what happened.
You okay?
Last earnings.
Swinging an axe 41 times. That ain't easy.
Where are the last fucking earnings? Where are y'all?
Check out Experian. I was really just looking to raise my credit score. But who even
On
knew
the daily?
that they could also help me save money on my auto insurance?
Oh yeah.
Now Experian lets you shop and compare auto insurance, all for free.
Experian basically found my auto insurance for me. I didn't have to do any of the dirty work.
Using Experian, I found out I could save over $1,500 a year on car insurance.
When it comes to car insurance, we do the work, you save the money. Go to Experian.com/car.
Oh wait, it was the first. Yes, it was the 1st of February. Yeah, it had good earnings back then. 117, it shot all the way up to 128, so that was like a 10% move. What the fuck? And that was after it was already fucking rallying. So it wasn't even like oversold. What? Hello, Weeble, what the fuck? What happened to my chart? Jesus Christ.
Naturally radiant. True Match Tinted Serum from L'Oreal Paris. We're worth it.
Get your free reputation.
Now Nasdaq's coming down after hours.
866-8555.
Fuck you, AMD. God.
Welcome back to Overtime. Shares of AMD. Check them out right there. 3.25% popping in the OT on the back of that big earnings beat. It's bringing Larry Cordisco.
3.25% on big earnings. It has bigger days off of nothing. It has bigger days off of no fucking earnings, no news or anything. But no, earnings where it smashes, where it tells you everything about a company that you need to know about a goddamn company, and that you know they're thriving and gonna keep thriving. Fuck, oh, doesn't matter. 3%. That's all you get. And it's actually selling off now after hours. Fuck this stupid
When
shit,
you think about
man.
the three things that people are really focused on for this quarter, I'd say it's a pretty good report.
Yeah, why has the stock been down so much?
Well, it's dealing with the same problems that's endemic to the market, which is you had pretty high valuations in a rising interest rate environment, and then you have decelerations in the economy. And so when you think about, valuations coming in and uncertainty about earnings growth, what will be the E and the PE ratio, semiconductors trade with those concerns on steroids. So, you could say that AMD and a lot of other semiconductors maybe went a little too far, a little too fast. But at these levels, if the economy holds and if these trends in data center growth and computing growth hold, these stocks are pretty reasonably valued here. AMD specifically is pretty reasonably valued here.
Yeah, I'm thinking of, the PC market. I know what on the surface looks pretty good. We still have to listen to Lisa Su talk about that. Clearly, it is an environment that doesn't look all that great.
But it's hard to say. There are nuances, Scott, because a lot of the weakness we've seen has been on the low end. It's been in Chromebooks. It has not been in the higher end part of the segment where AMD plays more. And one other thing that I think investors should consider, and it's a big part of our investment thesis, is even if the PC market weakens, AMD is poised to get so much share in the data center from Intel in higher margin products that there's a really good chance you get an offset. So, maybe they don't beat them raise every single quarter to the degree to which they have been, because it's been really spectacular. But there's a really big offset, a positive offset in AMD's business that could really power them through a weaker
caused the NASDAQ to bounce?
That's what happens, though, when you're Lisa Su and you knock the cover off the ball and your stock is one of the best performers and you're taking share from Intel and others. The bar just goes whoop, whoop, whoop. It keeps going higher and higher. At some point in an environment, you're going to disappoint the most optimistic expectations.
Fucking index is
totally.
not even
But
hardly up.
now that we're about 20 times next year's earnings, a lot of that disappointment's been priced in, or a lot of that concern has been priced in. So, on a risk-reward basis, we like the bet with AMD here. We think the data center continues to grow. There's no signs of slowdown from at Microsoft or Google, or obviously Amazon.
All right, so I'll take a look at AMD. Obviously, the one I'm holding. So if we actually open at like 95, that would be nice. I love opening off fucking gap because immediately there's pressure to the downside. But just looking at the hourly 200 EMA is right up here at like 97, and obviously 100's the next key level after that. But this whole like setup right here just looks, it's got the rounded, it starts getting the rounded bottom here. We got our higher high over here, a higher low, a higher high. So we got our higher high and our higher low up here. Then another higher high. So need to see that higher low, but it just looks like a perfect setup to like get a reversal from earnings out of it. Like to completely reverse here. We got our strong support right now at $84. It seems too perfect to not fucking rally here. But it's just all about the Fed tomorrow, so that's probably why this really isn't moving much in after hours. I should have really thought about that, how that could probably happen, because no one wants to load up on anything before tomorrow. But yep, that's that. Let's see what SPY did today. SPY didn't do a whole lot today either. So yep, SPY, we kind of just opened up and chopped around sideways. We didn't retest any levels. We're kind of just here in no man's land, but we did break above the 416 level, so that was pretty key, and we closed above it. So we broke the level, closed above it. That's pretty bullish looking. I like it to break 422.78 up there. There could be, so next level to break is definitely right here. Right here at oh yeah, how about that, 420. So 420 next level, whatever that translates to. SPX 4200 needs to get broken too, but
if you think of the long arc of Amazon and their record of return on invested capital, I think that's going to be fine too. So, you know, I don't want to sound Pollyannish, right? Because we don't know where the economy's going, and maybe things decelerate more. But on a relative basis, some of these mega cap companies that are trading at market multiples.
I feel like literally nothing happened in the market today. Like it was so slow.
We'll make that the last word, Larry.
So slow today.
So very much reacting to these earnings as they cross the tape. We'll see you again soon.
Nothing.
Up next, the big question. Is it time to bet on the big banks? Top analyst Mike Mayo makes the case for the financials. The three reasons
Yeah,
why
literally everything. Hardly anything went up a percent or even down a percent. It was like 0.5% on everything. So kind of just everything I talked about yesterday still applies. Like nothing's really changed. I mean, besides the AMD having really good earnings, so that should be huge for Nvidia. So Nvidia, we actually did hold this key level here.
For many years.
No, that wasn't even a key level. That was just an old fib level.
Has a big impact on who you become. He did not have very much growing up. They were homeless.
So now Nvidia just got to break 200, man. 200's huge for Nvidia. I want to see you support on this 200 EMA on the 5-minute. That would be huge.
Carrick is not like most people in Washington, and that is a good thing.
Looking at these charts, just like nothing stands out here. I'm not seeing anything.
When it comes to your roof replacement, you want an experienced company you can trust. For over 40
So 200, then we got to break this high that we wicked up to over here, 201. So we do kind of have this like, shit, what's that called? Rounded bottom look, where it could look like a double top, but when it's at the bottom of something, so you get the top right there, then a rounded bottom down here, tap the top right there, come back down, and you want to break the top again, and that'll be the breakout for the rounded bottom. So that's kind of what I want to see from Nvidia. So that, and then of course cycle level on that is 200. So gotta take that on Nvidia. Right now it's trading at 198 after hours after AMD's earnings. Hey, AMD's going back up. Yippee.
We focus on people, process, and product. So whether you're here
So Microsoft went down 1%. What's the deal?
Sales or service,
Yeah, Microsoft, fuck, dude. I do not. I hate when these things have gaps to the downside before they start to rally. Facebook too. So Facebook, it's just been one level at a time, and here we are. It's it took 200 level, came up here, found resistance, bounced off that, tested 200, bounced off it, came up here, and now we broke the level, and we closed above it at 212 for Facebook. So that's pretty good. Now we have this gap to fill. Shit. I'm gonna definitely play that.
And that just freaked me out as a mom.
Gap fill.
This is COVID. When he got his
So now Facebook actually, it bounced off this gap twice today. So
was a huge decision, but it was probably my most.
It's a tiny little gap, only to 216, but then that is an X key level. So gotta see that for Facebook. Gotta break that gap. Gotta break it up. And then once that gap is filled, gotta look for the continuation. Otherwise, it can fill the gap. It could be a gap and go. Fill the gap and go back down. So that's what I'll see for Facebook. That's what I'm looking at. And then, of course, the big old fucking gap to the downside on Facebook still from earnings.
Live in Washington, D.C. for us today. Shep.
It's got two gaps to the upside. One right there also.
Sheesh. The fallout from last night's leak of
Amazon
that
down
opinion
again.
striking down Roe v. Wade.
Google. Hey, Google is up.
So
So Google is kind of getting that rounded bottom look here too. It's curling up just a little bit.
That they're increasing security as they brace for protests.
Have any gaps? Oh yeah, it's got a gap to fill way up here. Irrelevant, too far away. Apple. So Apple had its green day today. So Apple reclaimed this level right here. That's awesome. So we lost this level after earnings, 159.14. It reclaimed that today, so that's bullish. I mean, at this point, the market's so fucking, everything's selling off so hard that days like today are actually bullish. Like, we didn't get a sell-off at any point today, so that's actually bullish. But it was a just super low volume day otherwise. So that's actually 2 green days in a row on the NASDAQ. That's the first time that's happened in since April 18th. Shit. Not bad, just barely. So of course we close on a doji, which is very much what the market is telling me. me. Uncertainty, that's what a doji is all about. SPY, also super low volume, also closed a bit of a doji, short-legged doji.
And the manhunt for the escaped inmate and apparently his girlfriend, the guard from Alabama, all tonight on the news. Right after Jim Cramer, 7 Eastern, CNBC. Scott, back to you.
All right, Jeff Smith, I appreciate that very much. Thank you. We'll see you again. The financial sector's been one of the big laggards over the past year. Mike Mayo, though, from Wells Fargo Securities, is out with a new note, making yet another bullish.
AMD should get some like price target raises tomorrow. That's gonna be a positive. And once you have really good earnings like that, they typically get raised. So.
And you keep being wrong, I'm sorry to say, because the stocks don't do what you say they're going to do.
I've never been.
It's fair, right? It's true.
I've never been more right on a theme and so wrong on the stocks. But I'll tell you, Scott, the stock market's wrong. I think I'm going to be right. And I think you're going to see the best Main Street banking growth in 4 decades. And the first catalyst here starts tomorrow with the Fed rate hikes.
Well, what's the disconnect? I mean, why do you keep making this case that you say is so right from a fundamental standpoint, and the stocks don't do anything? Look at the 52-week highs. I mean, we know where the S&P is 13% off of its high. Bank of America is down 25%. If you go down the list, almost every big bank is down close to that, if not more. Year to date is the same story. Where is the disconnect?
Well, yeah, these are dollar bills sitting on the ground, waiting to be picked up. You have higher interest rates. You have accelerating loan growth. You have traditional banking revenues growing. You have good credit quality. You have the tech revolution that banks.
Let's get this guy from Wells Fargo to tell you why you should invest in Wells Fargo. No shit.
Bank of America, our top pick, trading at less than 9 times earnings next year, or half the market PE. This is crazy from my standpoint. But the concern on
I hope these calls don't go down tomorrow, dude. I'm gonna be so mad. I bought the week out so this wouldn't happen. If we bought this week's calls and this is all it went up, we would definitely get crushed. But we bought a week. Pray to God that AMD stays green after hours.
Like Bank of America is already pricing in a mild recession. And newsflash, this is not the global financial crisis. This is not 2002. This is not 1992. Banks do not have concentrations of problem loans. They reduce their construction loans. They reduce subprime loans. They reduce the riskiest assets, and they get no credit for it. But since earnings have been reported, especially since Bank of America reported earnings, bank stocks have outperformed, albeit in a down market. So while the bank index and Bank of America hit a 52-week low yesterday, they did start outperforming the last 2 weeks, and we think they will continue to outperform. And this is a gift, a gift. I'm pinching myself. I'm so amazed at how well this theme of Main Street banking is playing out, better than I thought at the start of the year, yet the stocks are down. That is an opportunity, and I'll repeat it again, the stock market is the one that's wrong.
Okay, so
this is
I'm
a
thinking
fucking
about the
clown.
environment, which is
The stock market's the one that's wrong.
Shut the fuck up. That the risk of a moderate recession is not priced into the bank side.
This isn't 2009. Yeah, what the fuck? This. They printed so much money. How can you not think that this is a major issue? I don't get it. These people just go on here and just lie. It's so crazy. Isn't that big of a deal?
To be concerned about.
Well, first, I mean, banks are sitting on record dry powder, record cash and cash equivalent assets. So they finally get to put that to work. And
yeah, they're sitting on cash. No shit.
All those deposits that they've gathered. And there's certainly risk, but we estimate a reward to risk ratio of like 3 to 4 to 1. There could be, Scott, in a moderate recession, downside of 1/3. But under a base case, we have up 1/3. And if you go back to historical valuations, you're up 2/3. So if you probability weight this, it's a good time to be owning bank stocks.
I was told you were bringing what you always like to bring, a prop, and I was told you have a medal, right, to show the powerlifting mindset. These are your words, not mine. To push through the pain of the underperformance of these bank stocks. Did you not bring it?
I forgot my medal, Scott, but I participated in my powerlifting meet on Saturday, and I'm channeling the energy I need in powerlifting. You grind through, you don't think you're going to make it, you push through the pain, and eventually you lift the weight. And the same analogy applies to the bank stocks. You push through the pain of this underperformance, and you're going to see these bank stock prices lifted over the next couple quarters.
Best name you've got in the group is what? Is it BAC? BAC, Bank of America?
I know I've said Bank of America before, but it's unbelievable that they trade at half the market PE. If you're pricing in a recession, a mild recession for Bank of America, why is the rest of the stock market staying where it is? That's a disconnect. I think Bank of America is the one that corrects more highly.
All right. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks
Congrats
for having
on your
me.
medal.
Thank you.
All right, that's Mike Mayo joining us. Up next, we have some big headlines just crossing about Elon Musk and his future plans for Twitter. We've got those details for you next.
Hey, businesses!
If you haven't tried Dawn Power Wash Dish Spray, what are you waiting for? It's Dawn's fastest and easiest way to clean everyday dishes. On simple messes, just spray, wipe, and rinse. On tough messes, its spray-activated suds have 5 times faster grease cleaning power to break down grease without water. Plus, its targeted spray cleans even hard-to-reach places better. So, replace your dish soap with Dawn Power Wash and spray your dishes clean.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Candy, where have you been?
Betty and I got to talking.
Hey, Candy. Have you seen Betty at all today?
Candy can't be perfect all the time.
When you step into a new day, willing to take on whatever's asked of you, that new day is yours to own and yours to be proud of.
Getting the incredible iPhone 13 without T-Mobile makes as much sense as playing hide and seek.
Ready or not, here I come!
In the desert.
Really, guys?
T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places. And now, when you switch, you can get iPhone 13 on us and 1 year of Apple TV Plus for free.
You're not going to fit in that hole.
Don't look any further. Unlock the full power of iPhone 13 on us at T-Mobile.
And I walk out, and my car is dented.
Well, Geico does offer 24/7 claim service with
Well, AMD, yeah, did good again.
24/7. They're just available whenever you need them.
Oh, okay, good. Because I took an online quiz, and it turns out I'm an introvert.
I actually think I'm an introvert too.
Oh no, it's incredibly rare.
I don't think that's right.
Sorry.
Okay.
Geico, your claims team is here for you 24/7.
Instaflex Advanced is so powerful, you could have better knees in just 1 week. Maybe that's why it's #1 at GNC. But you can only get your complimentary sample by texting ENJOY to 42424. Plus, text now and we'll include a tube of Instaflex pain cream with its exclusive oxygenated oil for fast-acting relief from the pain of arthritis, backaches, and sore muscles, absolutely free. Text ENJOY to 42424.
News alert on Twitter in overtime. Sources are telling the Wall Street Journal that Elon Musk plans to take Twitter public again after taking it private in his $44 billion takeover. The Journal is reporting that Musk has told potential investors he could stage a Twitter IPO within the next few years. Interesting story. We'll keep our eyes there. You see Twitter shares right there, not doing too much, up 0.25% today. Moving on, Starbucks, AMD, Lyft, Airbnb, all on the move in the OT on their earnings. Instant reaction coming right now to those big reports from halftime committee member, co-founder of MarketRebellion.com, Pete Najarian. Pete, let's go to AMD first, okay? You bought calls right ahead of the print. They go above $5 billion in the quarter in revenue for the first time ever. Your take?
Well, all you've got to do is look back to last quarter as well, Scott. And, the amazing thing is this stock, when you look at where the stock was, call it over at 120. I know it got all the way up to 160, but call it 120, 130, all the way back down to where it is right now or was. And now we've got a nice move to the upside. They beat in every single category you could want. They gave you a great outlook. They gave you everything that you could want in an earnings report. It'll be interesting to see how well that's received tomorrow as well, because a lot of the time we can see these stocks move to the upside, and then the next day you just never know. But right now, somewhere between 94 and 95, that looks pretty good. And by the way, this is a company whose PE has now gotten very, very tolerable for even more people, Scott. For a while there, it was in the 50s, 60s. Now we're talking about a PE closer into the low 20s. That says a lot about where this stock has fallen from and the strength in which she has been able to navigate through these markets in an absolutely amazing way and do things that other companies were not able to do. I think it's just an incredible quarter.
Yeah, she being Lisa Su. Dr. Lisa Su.
Yes,
she's the CEO, of course, and she's going to be on. That's okay. She's going to be on in the morning at 9 a.m. with the gang, as she usually is after earnings. So we'll look forward to that interview there. Do you think this is a relief rally, Pete, given what has just taken place in the chip space recently? You know, Intel reporting last week. People wondering what was going to happen here. Maybe there's a little bit of that playing into the story, too.
It certainly could be a little bit of that, Scott. I mean, when you look at a lot of the different numbers, they've been very powerful, especially what we're looking at tonight. I mean, this is the kind of quarter that you need to have. They did deliver. They delivered the last quarter as well, but it's impressive. You know, when you start to look at some of these record numbers and every category being in double digits move to the upside. I mean, there's just a lot of things to unpack here on how well they are doing right now, as others might be giving us all sorts of complaints about supply chain and this and that. They're not doing any of that. They're just delivering.
Looking at Starbucks, too, you have calls there, obviously. What's your take here? You happy you have that position in that stock, Pete? Because it's been a dog. I mean, it's gotten beaten up badly. They got issues. You know, obviously, Howard Schultz is back. China's an issue they need to contend with.
Yeah, they've got labor issues all over the place, whether or not you want to talk about here in the United States or the fact that they don't even have to have labor because they're shut down in China. And China's a pretty decent chunk of what we're looking at when we look at the Starbucks and we look for those revenue numbers. They actually did okay here, Scott, in the U.S. I thought those numbers were decent, but they've got to deal with so many different things right now. You know, they're like what we look at each and every day within the markets. There's so